You're listening to the Youth Critic podcast on KHZ Network. Find us on Facebook at DecibelUNG Radio and find us on Twitter at DecibelUNG.
I've never seen a man cut before.
If you like this episode, please leave a like and comment on our iTunes page at KHZ Network. And now for the podcast.
Kira, why am I different?
You are special, little brother.
You've got hands, so let's use them. Jump!
Out my way! I shouldn't let them pick on you like that. Wolves are supposed to be with other wolves.
He's not a wolf.
I've seen the way you look at the village. Mowgli, you are one of them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Youth Critic podcast. I'm your host, Kel Smith. Joining me today is Gene Aversa.
Hey, how you doing? Good to be back talking with you.
Awesome. Thank you. And today we are going to be talking about not Disney's The Jungle Book, not Warner Brothers, well, sort of Warner Brothers Mowgli or Jungle Book, but we are talking about the Warner Brothers and Netflix's dark and gritty Jungle Book movie that they had planned 3 years ago, and it's finally now on Netflix. Hooray! Gene, starting with you, what did you think of Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle?
I kind of wish I saw it in the theater. It's really a shame that it got more or less dumped on Netflix. It is what it is. I was almost kind of like, I enjoyed parts of it for sure, but I didn't I didn't get like who this movie was for, because it didn't feel like a kids movie, and it didn't feel like it certainly didn't feel like a kids movie, because it's just like, it's really like nightmarish imagery. I'm not sure why Andy Serkis would put this in it, and like it didn't have like the maturity of almost like this. Okay, if it's like a hardcore thing, like where is the like you wouldn't have like all kind of the cutesiness he's putting in it. So it was just like, it just felt very perplexing,
It's, for me, it's weird because it's an odd situation, because the movie itself is very dark. It's very gritty, but the animals still talk. And but I mean, the movie literally has a scene where Shere Khan gets done like eating something, and then he rinses his mouth that's just drenched in blood in a river, and Mowgli sees it.
Yeah, that's fucked up, right?
It is. It is, but I mean, I guess for me, I was like, fuck, that's incredible. But I get where you're coming from, but I get where people are coming from, because on the other flip side of my mind, it's like, holy shit, this is bloody, this is dark. This is not a kid's movie at all. Andy Serkis was like, we are not Disney-fying this shit at all.
Yeah, it's like, it's not Disney.
I mean, Shere Khan mentions he tasted Mowgli's mother's blood. I mean, Shere Khan is hardcore. So yeah, and that was just. But for me, I liked it for a little while. Like, I liked the darkness because, I'm kind of like, we got the Jungle Book animated movie from the 60s. That was really cute and short to the point and was adorable. And then we got a 2-hour Jungle Book movie that was cute, adorable, and with really good live action animals. So for me, going in was like, well, so what's going to be the new take here? What's Andy Serkis going to try to do to differentiate how this movie is going to be different from his? And to me, he made it darker, but also I still think it was kind of a bad decision on his part if he was going to go dark to still have the animals talk, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I know that kind of takes away the point of the Jungle Book, but wouldn't it be, something if we went really adult and experimental and the animals didn't talk, but Mowgli communicated to the animals via body language, via a different language that's not verbal.
Yeah, right. Like it's like, okay, it's really serious, and then it's like, oh, and then the animals are talking like in Cockney accents.
Yeah, well, and they're talking in English accents. Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. I'm still trying to figure out what Benedict Cumberbatch was going for with his accent. Like, it sounds like he's just like a downplayed Smaug.
Yeah.
So jumping into it, Gene, what is this movie about? Because I think we kind of have to establish how this is different from the other movies. So what is it really more about?
Just like it was just a weird like amalgamation of like all the Jungle Book mythology. I think it like follows it to pretty telling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so here's my thing about the Mowgli is that so it wants to be the story of what came first, the chicken or the egg. What basically is starting the quote unquote like pollution of the forest, which is rather Shere Khan attacking the humans or the man as they're called, attacking them, and then they are retaliating because Shere Khan is eating their cattle. Or is it Shere Khan who is probably even wiser than the wolf pack, the alpha in the wolf pack, and is like, no, they're the bad guys. Like they have more more utilization of their weapons. They have so it's really a story. It tried at the very beginning to present like what's how does the conflict start? Did it start with Shere Khan, or did it start with the humans? So, and that's basically where Mowgli is trying to be. However, I don't think the movie quite answers it because the ending of the movie is very much Mowgli just somehow just works everything out to where he doesn't technically have to kill anyone. He just kind of orchestrates it. He kind of just orchestrates his way back to being in the wolf pack after being kicked out, that sort of thing. So it's a very stupid, like the ending, like the more I think about it, the more laughable it is. To me. But really, to me, I think to me, I feel like that was kind of the problem with the movie is it lacked, focus on what it was trying to say. Whereas I feel like Favreau's, not to compare too much, but I feel like but just kind of, stating my point, Favreau, I think, had at least a foundation that he was working with, in that he wanted to say, something about, the nature of hunting, the nature of being a predator, and what is that responsibility about, and what does that mean to a boy growing up. And I feel like that was Favreau's kind of take, is and that's what he was trying to say. Whereas Serkis, I feel like he's like beating around the bush to get to that point, but I feel like he is also. But I feel like because he's trying so hard to not get like sued by Disney or like to not tell the same story, that he's having to like rework his entire narrative to where it's about kind of this chicken and the egg scenario of what Predator kind of was the catalyst of the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also on that end, it's also, there's no really good answer because you'll probably end up the same resolution that Favreau came up with.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I feel like Mowgli's just kind of stuck in this. We're dark because we can be because we're not Disney, but we don't have a whole lot of meaning behind the darkness.
Yeah.
We don't have a whole lot to say with what we're being dark about. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Is that, just asking you, is that close to what your read was, or did you have a different read on the movie?
No, I don't think I had a different read on the movie.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, let's kind of go into spoilers, so we can kind of dive a little deeper into why the story doesn't quite necessarily work.
Yeah.
So spoilers, everyone, from here on out on Mowgli. All right.
Okay, spoilers.
Yep. So my biggest problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump to the end, or basically to the third act. So in the movie, about an hour into the movie, maybe an hour and 15, Mowgli somehow gets, like runs to the human village to get like a burning stick of fire and uses it to wave it around to threaten everyone, because he knows that because like a couple scenes earlier, he knows like the power of the fire and knows how to wield it, or he knows like that the fire can burn as hotter than the sun, and goes and work as quickly than any cheetah or whatever animal they said. So he's wielding it around, and thus that gets him kicked out of the wolf pack because he's using a man weapon, making him not a wolf anymore. So he's kicked out. He's sent to the human village, and then while he's at the human village, he hangs out with Frida Brito and Matthew Reese, and then we learn that Matthew Reese is the hunter, and that he has hunted his friend Boot, and not only has hunted him down, but has oh God, I should know this because I live in the South.
Right.
What happens to Blue? I'm sorry, what's the term? Taxidermist?
Taxidermy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He taxidermy Blute, and so of course Mowgli sees this, and he has like a fucking mental breakdown because his friend is just got like fucking.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. Fucking Lockwood holding up.
Yeah. Lockwood just stuffed his best friend. So now that so leading into all that, it forces Mowgli to basically construct a plan to where he convinces the elephant gods to attack the hunter, but also to draw out Shere Khan so he can stab Shere Khan to death. Like, and not only like
that's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see like Shere Khan just like Quentin Tarantino style bleeding out, but it's like you see him just like fucking limping and then fall over and then get stabbed in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just And on top of that, while that's happening, Matthew Reese is just getting stomped and gored by fucking elephants.
Mhm.
And you're just and and the whole entire time it's just like in the movie it's a very serious moment. It's a cathartic moment because finally Mowgli is avenging his mother, but he's also learned a great lesson about predators and how and predators should be taken down, especially those that are disrespectful to the nature of the jungle, like Shere Khan and Lockwood are. So it is a very serious moment, but when you see an execution and see how Mowgli like constructs this whole entire plan, it's kind of hilarious. Or at least it was for me. But what did you think of the ending, Gene?
It felt just really weird. Like it was just like, oh hey, it's ending. Like it's everyone's dead. Ka has like another, Ka is like a Pharisee or like a prophet or something.
Oh yeah, I forgot Ka was in this movie.
Mhm.
What a useless character.
Yeah, it was, like I like the Scarlett Johansson Claw better, like where it's it's a slithery, like soulful voice snake, you know?
Yeah, but I never feel like Ka really amounts to anything. Like,
No, not really.
never really. Like in both versions and also the animated movie, I don't think the character really serves anything other than to be, kind of like to present like, temptation for Mowgli, but also it's just a scene that's supposed to terrify people, but really it's just, a kind of a bore at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kate Blanchett plays a character that's useless and is only in the
Mhm.
movie for 5 minutes.
Mhm.
At least Christian Bale's really good.
Yeah.
Like that was actually my favorite part of the whole movie was Christian Bale's character. What's the character's name?
What's that?
What's the name of Christian Bale's character? The Panther.
Bagheera. Bagheera? Bagheera?
Baghdad.
Bagheera.
Bagheera. I love Christian Bale's Bagheera. Like, it's sad and also like Christian Bale. I should mention that all the animals that are in this movie, they were all mocapped
Mhm.
by the actors, and it's a really like restrained performance, and it feels and Christian Bale gives a deep sadness and a deep pathos to oh god, what's his name? Brother,
Baloo?
not Baloo. Christian Bale's character. Oh god, I can't even remember whatever Christian Bale's character's name. The Panther. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I just like that character. And then I mean, Blue is by Andy Serkis is fun. But and then of course Benedict Cumberbatch is playing it up as Shere Khan.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, there's not really that much. It's just a dark version where Mowgli's an idiot.
Mhm.
And then that's it. I really don't have much on the movie.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about it, really. Like, oh man, it should have come out sooner, you know?
Yeah. I would. Yeah. Now I'm thinking, man, I really probably should have seen Into the Spider-Verse now. But that's beside the point. So yeah, I don't really know that much. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Andy Serkis. I mean, you did an okay job, I guess. I mean, the movie looks great.
Mhm.
I mean, and I actually kind of agree with you. I wish I did see this in a theater because it actually really does look stunning to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, you're right. There's not really much to say, and maybe that's kind of why Warner Brothers kind of dumped it, is because they kind of made it. They spent a bunch of money on a movie where there's not really much to do with a Jungle Book movie. There's not much to say or do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that, do you have any more thoughts on Jungle Book? I've kind of been talking a lot.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, the only other thing I can think of now to talk about is that this was originally supposed to have come out a year ago, but even the production history is kind of boring at this point. Or it's kind of not boring, but kind of, defunctory at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just not important it's not really important to really how the movie turned out at all. It's just Warner Brothers made a movie that would, come out after Jungle Book, and then when Disney's Jungle Book movie made over $1 billion, they were like, oh shit. And then 2.5 years later, we're here talking about Mowgli from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story, folks. And funny enough, Andy Serkis actually directed a movie while he was editing this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting. Yeah. So, do you want to just go to plugins, Gene?
Just the crowdfunding campaign that's going to last until Christmas. It got extended, so yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you get into that then?
Okay.
Start. So, what is your Indiegogo campaign?
It's a crowdfunding for a short film from me. It's another short film where I'm doing like a robot sort of short film. So it's I have a lot of cool stuff.
Awesome. So what's the latest update on it? Because I think the last time
we're at 2K. We're almost at $2,000.
Nice. And how much are you raising for this project?
I'm trying for 3K, but yeah, we'll see.
That's awesome, Gene. That's really good to hear. Awesome. Well, I will have a link to Gene's campaign in the description below. Please check it out. They have a lot of cool updates. I know Gene and I think your Waffle Press co-host and friend Diego has also been posting some updates as well, I think. So yeah, go check out the Indiegogo campaign and please support Gene in his endeavor. All right, and you can follow me on Twitter at the Movie Kale, and you can also follow the show at the Youth Critic, and then you can also follow the channel that distributes this podcast at KHC Network. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back with you very soon with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
All I've ever wanted is to belong.
You will always be my son, Mowgli. Nothing can ever change that.
The jungle is changing. Man is taking more of it. And the boy may just be our only hope of survival.
We're afraid of what man might do to us. The pack needs you, Mowgli.
How you've grown.
I am not a man, but neither am I a wolf. Which of you will follow me?
Man cub, the whole jungle has been watching you.
I won't